Hi, Zizaran here with another video, and Path of Exile just put out a video introducing the currency exchange market, and I figured I would watch the video and then talk about my feelings on an auction house in Path of Exile, and yeah, we'll look through it together. I have not seen this yet, so we'll see. I'll react hard. Alright, let's watch it.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile.
It's the little
As
things.
you may have seen in our GGG live event last week, we announced that we will be adding a currency exchange market in the Settlers of Kalgur expansion. It is important to know that this feature is only available in the Settlers of Kalgur leagues, and will not be available on standard leagues. Today, we'll go over some of the basics of how to use this new system. The currency exchange can be opened at Faustus, in Kingsmarch, a new area in this expansion. Despite using Faustus, this system is for player-to-player trading, so will not be available in solo Southbound. It's worth inviting Faustus to your hideout, so you can use this feature between in-game maps at your leisure without having to visit Kingsmarch every time. Here is the user.
I don't know if they've already done this, but immediately I'm thinking, I hope control-clicking Faustus opens the auction house. It's always so nice. Honestly, it would not even be bad to have like customizable clicks, but like I love the NPCs that I can control click to open their cell panel.
The interface for the currency exchange market. Here and here are where you can select which currency you want to trade for and which currency you want to trade away. By selecting these buttons, it will open a window that displays all possible items that can be traded through this system. When selecting the currency you have, it will consider your...
It's so nice. So a lot of people initially thought this was currency only, but as you can see, currency, essences, delves, scarabs, dip cards, like anything stackable, they've said. So yeah, it's quite nice.
Your inventory and a number of your stash tabs, so you don't need to move it out of your stash to your inventory first. At the top here, you will often see a section called Popular. Most people trade using common currencies,
I'm surprised
like
Chaos
Chaos
isn't there.
Orbs or Divine Orbs. When inputting the currency you're hoping to get, the Popular category will include a subset of the items that have been used to trade for that currency recently. Specifically, the 12 items with the highest trade volume.
Oh.
It is highly recommended, if you want to fulfill your exchange quickly, that you select one of these popular currencies.
That makes sense.
Now that we have selected both the currency we want and have, we need to specify a ratio.
I remember when alts were 15-1. That was a wonderful time in my life. Sometimes on hardcore, it's been as expensive as 3-1, 2-1 even.
This ratio shows the best possible outcome currently available for the exchange you are trying to do. If you hover over this ratio, it will show a number of the best ratios available. If you want to get your exchange completed in a timely manner, it is recommended the ratio you set is equal to one of these or similar. You'll notice as you increase the amount of currency you want, there is a gold cost, represented here.
Okay.
In order to trade using this method, you need to pay a gold cost.
It's gonna scale hard.
Which you can find throughout Rayclast in the Settlers of Kalgur League. This value has been balanced around mid-game campaign, so at early game it can be quite difficult, if not entirely unreasonable to use this system.
That's fine.
By end game, it should be relatively trivial, and just serve as a nominal cost. As gold cannot be traded, you must be playing the game in order to engage with this system. Now, we can place our exchange, which will add it down here. The moment your exchange is placed, it can start to be filled, so take care to be certain when placing exchanges. There is a limit to the number of exchanges you can have at any given time. This limit is shared across all leagues. We will be experimenting with this limit. You are able to watch your exchange be filled in real time. An exchange can be partially filled, and at any time you can close your exchange, after which you can take your currency. Closing your exchange will not refund your gold. Once an exchange has been completed, you will receive a notification. If you are offline or happen to miss the notification, you should make sure to keep Faustus placed in your hideout within sight. He will have this icon
That's
above him when he
nice.
has something for you to collect.
That is nice.
Exchanges that are ready to be collected can be seen highlighted here. To retrieve your currency, just simply select it and place it in your inventory.
No.
On keyboard and mouse, you can control-click to move an entire stack.
Okay.
And you can control right-click to move as many as would fill your inventory.
Okay.
When using PlayStation or Xbox controllers,
like, no.
or similar, you can press square or X respectively to do the same. Press and holding those same buttons will move as many as would fill your inventory. It is worth noting, you can now also use these same
that is
binds
so nice.
to bulk move currency from your inventory to your stash. When doing player-to-player trades the traditional way, it also now uses this keybind for the same action, so it can be consistent across all interfaces. At any
Is that a new
time,
stash
you can
tab?
hover the information hover provided on the panel to find out more, or if you just need to refresh your memory. We are very excited to see how the currency exchange market goes in this league and figure out if it has a place in future Path of Exile expansions, and what place that might be. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you for the release of Settlers of Kalgur on July 26.
Oh.
Thanks for trade, stay safe, see you then.
Nice. And you will see me. I'll actually be streaming both to YouTube and Twitch, so that'd be nice. So I have always been a little bit against an auction house in Path of Exile, predominantly for the reason that there is no gold, there is no way to tax it. And automated instant buyout auction houses with no preventative measure at all, you just get bots running super rampant, which from what I understand is already an issue on softcore. That you have bots. There's also a lot of people that think the people that put in the currency super fast is bots. Obviously now it's instant for everybody, but even before it was just people using macros. But there definitely is bots already and stuff trading. However, the problem it's like a magnitude difference when you have instant trading and stuff, especially when you have no limit and yeah. So this fixes the concern quite a lot for me. So yeah, we are getting a actual auction house for Path of Exile, which is completely shocking. They've always been very against it. I've always been very against it, so a lot of people have been curious how I feel about this. And I've had several videos discussing the opportunity of an auction house in Path of Exile before. Now, there's been a few reasons for why I really hated the idea of an auction house, and I've actually warmed up to the idea of a currency auction house over the years, which is what we are getting. So this auction house has everything that is stackable. That means you can sell essences, scarabs, everything like that. But you can't sell items and still need to use pathofexile.com/trade for that. And Last Epoch recently has had an auction house implementation as well. And they use a lot of bind on trade and things like that. And it's kind of the opposite in Last Epoch where they have items only, but no currency. But there it is, bind on trade, which for item auction houses, I'm actually a very big fan of as somebody that actually hates Soulbound for the most part. I've started in the few last years, actually probably since Sanctum, started seeing there is some value to limited Soulbound. Mostly, I don't like it, but on a few items, like for example the relics from Sanctum or bind on trade, then it does have merit. Now, so yeah, now we can swap any currency with each other. It's going to be really interesting, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I feel about it. So in the other videos I've made about the auction house, I've talked about, well, that I don't like it and I don't want it in the game, and that's because of bots and flipping and stuff like that, which the game already has. But if you've already played other games than Path of Exile, you know that the difference between even just like the simple blocking mechanism of people needing to respond to you versus automated buying, it's a staggering difference when it comes to flipping, right? It's like 1,000 magnitude. So I've always been really worried about automating it. However, they have a really cool solution to all the things that I generally am concerned about. First off, it is only currency. And you need to use gold to buy and sell. I believe it's both items. So you actually need to be actively playing the game. You can't just like have a dedicated auction house account or a dedicated bot. Now, obviously you can have a bot farm gold in maps and then do the auction house stuff. But, you know, it does change it a little bit there. It will be particularly interesting to see on hardcore if we see some insane market PvP, right? Because hardcore has so much less stock of everything. As a quick example of last league, and Steelmage has done this too, I think, but several times where I need to buy fracturing orbs, I've ended up buying the entire stock. So last time, just because of single-handedly me, sadly, fracturing orbs went from 6 divines to 12 divines in an hour. Now imagine 3 people banding together, simply buying out all the fracturing orbs and, well, deciding, well, the new price is 20 divines now if you want one. Then people simply have to decide, well, are they actually worth that much? Or are they not? So it will be interesting to see what happens there, particularly on hardcore. I do believe it's a lot healthier for softcore, because doing that on softcore is a lot harder. It still will happen. It would be really fun to make review videos later of like, wow, look at the price being manipulated here. Because if you get 100 people together and do it on software, it could be really spicy. I, in the past, in games, have really enjoyed doing flipping. That's why I'm so wary of it and the damage you can do, because this is how I made all my currency in World of Warcraft. Initially, it had no tax, so I would just bought all the Dream Foil for 6 gold, relisted for 20, fuck everybody. I was 15 then or something, so I've changed, I'm a new person. I would maybe still do it though. But either way, I get that it is a lot of fun, but I don't think necessarily is a healthy thing for games. So I'm very curious how it'll work. But yeah, like that is the main thing I've always said in the past videos. Like, it would only work if there's some form of tax, which is gold now, or soulbound. Oh, I've also said it works in other games because they have gold and we don't, but now we do. So I'm very curious how this test will go. I would be shocked if they don't make it core though already. I think like this is just something people would just tilt if they remove. So even just running a test on this, it's basically core. I'd be shook if it wasn't. It might not immediately go core. They might go like, we have to spend another 3 months working out how to fix these issues, if there are any. But I'd be very surprised if it doesn't go core already. Items in particular would be really worrisome for hardcore, because sometimes there's less than 3 of things. So it's like, you already have a bit of an issue that there has been sometimes on hardcore where people just buy everything out. And that becomes like extra easy with instant buyouts. I'm honestly, even though I've traditionally been against it, I think they have a good solution for all of my concerns. So as well as just seeing the comments from everybody over on the years, I've already changed my opinion quite a lot, I would think, on currency auction house in particular. I think it's really interesting that they went for everything stackable and not just like a... Because I would assume this is something they're a little bit more reluctant to try, because they know, like, once you give the community this, they're not going to want to let it go. So I was surprised they did everything and not just currency. Like, I'm surprised there's fragments and so interesting. Fragments going to be very interesting for hardcore, because sometimes there are 0 for sale. So I'm most likely going to go hardcore trade. I was very planning on going hardcore solo self-found, and this does look like a really good hardcore solo self-found league. And I would 100% play hardcore solo self-found if not for the auction house. But it does feel a little bit criminal to play SSF in auction house league. And it does look like a very fun trade league. And honestly, have been having such a blast on hardcore trade recently, because a few streamers have been making a point of playing hardcore trade. There's been so many more people playing it, and it's a really enjoyable economy. It'll also just change the dynamic of what's worth farming, what isn't farming. It'll be a little sad that, you know, before on hardcore, if we wanted to buy anything from Heist, we would have to go to Heistman. He lives in Heist. He does nothing else for the last, I don't know, 15 leagues. I have never traded with Heistman without him being in Heist. He's a Russian dude. And honestly, he's kind of loved, because not everybody loves Heist, but he does. He must make so much currency, really. So you don't see the name of the person buying. They have said there's going to be like suggested price and stuff like that. And I do think we'll see a lot of people mislisting things. Like, I've a big feeling I'm going to get a lot of messages in chat saying like, oh my god, I just listed 150 deafenings for 1C. What have I done? Made somebody very happy. That's what you've done. And I'm sure I will misclick something as well. Either way, I would love to hear your comments down below on what you think of the auction house. Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you scaroused? But either way, Thanks for watching. I will be streaming on YouTube in the coming days, as well as Twitch. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.